Music world is saying goodbye to original Beach Boy Brian Wilson.
He was the co-founder and lead singer of the band, starting with his two brothers in 1961. Over the years, they sold more than 100 million albums and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988. Brian Wilson was 82 years old. Joining us now is Simon Vozick-Levinson, the deputy music editor for Rolling Stone magazine. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, Brian Wilson to me is a musical genius. Obviously, and so many other people feel that same way. Can you take us through just kind of how he was able to make a name for himself, how the band started out?
Sure. Well, Brian Wilson started the Beach Boys in the early 1960s with two of his brothers, Carl and Dennis Wilson, with their first cousin, Mike Love, and with their good friend, Al Jardine. And they started out trying to capture the youth revolution that was happening in culture in the United States at that time. They sang about surfing, dancing, having fun, driving cars, going out with girls, all those fun things.
Can we go back to that time?
Seriously.
And so they made this incredible string of classic, amazing hits, exploring those themes, powered by Brian Wilson's songwriting and his incredible production. And what's amazing is that after that, they went even deeper and even greater, and they made some of the greatest music of all time after that first golden era.
Yeah. What are some of the key factors to that? Because there's a lot of bands that make great music, but they became one of the most influential bands of all time. Why do you think that was?
Well, Brian Wilson heard music differently than almost anyone else in the world. He had this incredible gift, this ear that allowed him to arrange his brothers and his bandmates' vocal harmonies into these gorgeous, almost heavenly sounding vocal harmonies. That same sense of musicality also later enabled him as a producer to put together these incredible studio orchestrations, all of the different instruments working together to express all of this beauty and love and sometimes pain and sorrow and spiritual yearning and so much else, and put it all in the music. And that's something that Brian Wilson was able to do better than almost anyone else.
I know, you think about it, there's so many songs of joy, there's so many songs I've cried to, there were so many emotions in their songs. I wonder in some ways, he did struggle with mental health issues, schizoaffective disorder, which, is really a horrible disease because you have hallucinations, you can have depression, some manic episodes. But he went on to release a few solo albums. How do you think that period of his life will play into his legacy?
Well, like you said, it's no secret that Brian Wilson dealt with serious mental health challenges throughout his life. And, there were times when that held him back and, that stopped him from fully expressing that beauty in his soul through music. What's amazing about Brian Wilson's life is that even though there were years where he couldn't tour, he wasn't releasing new music, he came back from that. And in the last 20 years or so of his life, he was making great music. He reunited with the Beach Boys in 2012. That was a miraculous thing. I was lucky enough to see one of the shows on that. He went on solo tours himself. He was able to bring this beautiful, incredible music that he had made back to the world and share that with people again. And that was a really amazing thing to see.
Oh, he leaves us with such amazing music. So he is gone, but his legacy, of course, lives on forever. And Simon, do you want to leave us with your favorite Beach Boys song?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so hard to pick just one.
I know.
I would probably have to say my #1 favorite Beach Boys song is probably the song "Surf's Up." That's just such it's maybe not one of the biggest hits, and the hits are all classics too. You can't go wrong with any of them. That's a song if people want to really think about what really set Brian Wilson apart from everyone else.
It's that song.
Okay, well I gotta listen. I don't know that one. Well, thank you.
It's a good song.
Putting it on the playlist today. Simon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.